Convicted in the deadly shooting at the Fox River Mall, officially withdraws his attempt to fight the conviction. 22-year-old Desmond Ellis was sentenced to 40 years in prison for shooting and killing 19-year-old Giovanni Frosto after an argument at the mall in 2021. Another man was also injured earlier this year. Ellis had attempted to withdraw his no contest pleas in the case, saying that he thought he would receive a lighter prison term. According to online court records, Ellis and his attorney dropped the attempt to withdraw his no contest pleas, and the judge granted it this week, citing no legal basis for the motion.